Hey guys, Luke here, and it's my first time in the woods, and it's the cold, freezing Canadian winter. But we're gonna make a fire, bake some bread, and boil some water. So if you think I'm up for the challenge, come tag along. Hey guys, Luke here. So I just made it off of the main part of the trail. I'm about to go look for a place to make camp. It's snowing pretty heavily. Currently, we're in the midst of the biggest snowstorm we're gonna have all winter. It's been snowing all night, snowing all morning. Hasn't really stopped, and it's not looking like it's gonna stop. So I found this nice little spot behind this tree. It's probably about the best cover I've found so far. Every tree has no leaves on it, so the snow is just going to get us regardless. But I like this tree because it gives me a good setup to chop wood or saw wood. You know, I can't really sit on it because of, you know, underneath the snow, there's ice, and you kind of just do a nice little Looney Tunes straight down the branch. But it's a nice little spot. I'm going to set up, I'm going to make camp, clean this place up and sort myself out, and I'll see you guys when I'm done. Oh man, wow, there's a lot of ice out here. All right, everybody. So I gave this place a little sweep, got the snow away, and made myself a nice little square. Unfortunately, there's a lot of ice around here, and not only is there a lot of ice, but there's a bit of metal sticking up from underneath the ground that you can't rip out, and it's just high enough to catch your toes and make you go for a nice little stumble. But I'm going to stay here regardless. I got everything nice and shoveled away. On all days to not have a shovel, today's probably the worst, but I used my cold steel hatchet as a little improvised shovel, and it did a pretty good job. I got the job done. I found this nice big dead tree. I think it's a perfect opportunity to test my new saw. I bought this off of Amazon for 17 bucks. So we're going to see if it's worth its weight in gold. You know, if it can get through it, I think for 17 bucks to have a saw that works is pretty good, you know. So we're going to see if it gets through. Well, that was my first time sawing a tree down. Google kind of told me that trees can make you a widow maker real quick. So I was kind of scared to do it. Google and YouTube kind of made trees seem really, really dangerous. So that was a little scary. But as you can see, that wood's nice and dry in there. So it's going to be nice and dry in there. So hopefully that's going to be how we get our fire going. Anyway, I'll see you guys back at camp. I'm going to have to lug this thing back. Not too far, as you guys can see. Camp is just right there. That's really nice. Hey guys, Luke here. Unfortunately, I'm talking to you from the inside of my own home. Although the day started out at -11, it quickly dropped down to -20. And with how wet my phone and my mic was from the snow, my phone started shutting off and wouldn't want to turn on. made the day really, really hard. So, unfortunately, a lot of these scenes don't have any audio because my mic was destroyed. But I'm just going to be playing some music over it. So I hope you guys still enjoy. Alright guys, so I got this fire going nice and good now. Kind of just in a nick of time too. My hands were practically numb and my gloves were pretty much ice, so it's getting kind of mission critical. But got the fire going good. There's a nice bed of coals, so it's going to be pretty much sustainable from here on out. In the beginning, I kind of went to put a piece of wood and knocked over my fire lay and almost put my fire out, but thankfully I had enough coals to bring it back to life, though it took some doing, but we got it. We're here now, so just going to let this fire die down and turn this wood into a nice bed of coals. Then we'll get some water going and start baking some bread. I'm pretty hungry, so it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to make a fire, so pretty hungry. Anyway, I'm just going to sit here and enjoy this fire for a minute or two. So as I let this fire die down into a nice bed of coals, it's kind of nice because it kind of creates its own little like barbecue pit where the snow melts around the fire and the fire kind of just sinks into the hole, which is pretty nice. If you have I don't have one with me, but if you have like a cooking grill, instead of having to find a way to like holster it above the coals kind of sink down into the ground real nice, so you can kind of just lay it across and have your own little pit. So it's a pretty, at least there's one nice positive about the cold, or not really the cold, but the snow, is that you get this nice little barbecue pit as the snow starts to melt and the coals start to drop in. As long as it ain't yellow, scoop it up and let it settle. I think Michael Jackson said that. Yep. You know, so I actually got this idea to cook on a stick from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel. He said if you hold your hand above the fire and you can hold your hand for 3 seconds before it gets too hot, that's roughly around 375 degrees. I got kind of worried because I could hold my hand almost to the coal bed for about like 10 seconds. So I figured I'd bring the fire back alive a little bit. And then, which it did work. Oof, I could almost hold my hand there just for 3 seconds. So I'm going to keep rotating this and I'm going to see how this turns out. The bread on the stick came out pretty nice. There's a bit of charcoal on it just because it fell into the fire, but that's okay. You can eat that. Oh no, I think my honey's frozen. Oh, come on. You know, when I cook this again next time, what I'm going to change is I definitely went way too thick. It was way too thick. So I'm going to try to make sure that I keep it to like a finger's width. So I just got done cleaning up the entire camp, packing up my stuff. It's my first time out in the woods, and I know it's a big thing to leave no trace. So I tried to pick up all my scrap wood so that it doesn't look like there's any burnt wood or anything like that. So guys, I'm back at the main part of the trail, and I'm cold, wet, and miserable, and I'm ready to go home. But I had a lot of fun. So thank you for watching the video, and as always, thank you for tagging along.